Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a discussion I had with my mother regarding the Jehovah's Witness organization. Typically we don't talk about the organization when we do have conversations, but she mentioned to something, we got into what somewhat a debate. She mentioned to me about my upbringing within the organization and leading on to my adulthood that the JW way of life did no harm to me or had any effect on my life. I tried to explain to her, or I explained to my mother that it did. Although I didn't get in trouble, I wasn't a trouble or problem kid. And that's because I held a lot of stuff in, afraid of getting in trouble. But on the outside, I was the role model, perfect kid, so to speak. Never got in trouble, received good grades in school, never gave my parents too much of a heartache or a headache. However, even after me explaining or attempting to explain my perception of the organization and the effect it had on me, I don't think I got through to my mom because she was just focused. She just so focused on the religion itself, what the elders said or what the governing body have said. But I went on to explain to her, I said it has had effect on me. All the effects wasn't negative, but it's quite a few that are negative and that I'm still dealing with to this day at my present age. For instance, having or being socially awkward around persons, around everyone's, not just about around non-Jehovah's Witnesses, but being socially awkward, unable to establish meaningful relationships with people, not trusting others, because within the Jehovah's organization, we were always told, don't trust the world, don't trust the world. You don't can't trust the people in the world. However, so now me, no longer associating with Jehovah's Witnesses. And as a recap, I really didn't associate with the Jehovah's Witnesses while I was in the organization, but trying to find that balance of allowing people to come into my life, tearing down the wall that I've held up for so long. It's a challenge to me, establishing relationships, meaningful relationships, not just the associate. I want to move beyond the associate phase. I want meaningful, loyal relationships, and I never experienced friendships. And I never experienced that within the Jehovah's Witness organization. And because we were just, or I was told not to trust the world or have no parts of the world or the people in the world, I sheltered myself or boxed myself in and and not allowing others to get to know me. And I partly probably because I didn't know myself. Um, I was just identifying as a Jehovah's Witness based on the current belief. Now I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. Now I'm trying to find my own identity. Now that I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, I'm trying to navigate in finding meaningful relationships. So back to the discussion with my mom was that the organization and their their parenting style has had no effect on me. That simply was not is not the truth. I am scarred by all. Well, let me not say by all. Everything wasn't bad. And as I look back, some things, the way I was brought up, the way the strict organization, maybe that was a protection, but it didn't allow me to establish my own identity as a person independent of a Jehovah's Witness. Now I am at the age I am working with persons who probably have never came into contact with Jehovah's Witnesses, trying to find myself and trying to fit into this new arena. And I have a difficult time. I have a difficult time doing so. Um, I have a difficult time also in trusting my instincts. For so long, my decisions, my mom's decisions, were based on the governing body or the elders. So I didn't make decisions for myself or my life. You went to the governing body, listened to the governing body or the local elders, and you made decisions based on that. However, that took away my independence as a person. So the intuition that I have, I'm now learning to trust, to question. And it's scary navigating this new world, this new way of thinking and of being, and to challenge myself. It's not easy. Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. But it was interesting that the conversation I had with my mom, she thinks that the religion, the organization is just perfect, or no, nothing can go wrong within the organization. And that simply is not true. And although I did my best to explain it to her, but again, she is so focused on what the elders say or what the governing body says. She doesn't form her own opinion, even though I attempted to lay out examples of the missed opportunities that I had or could have had because of their fears. Um, it was just an interesting conversation that I had with her, and it brings me to the point that for persons who have family within the organization, it will be hard or a challenge to try to get them to understand your point of view as to why you have decided to question the organization and or to leave the organization. Some are so focused on the organization and believing everything that they say, you can't win them over. So I just decided when it comes to my mother, if she bring up the conversation or talk about Jehovah's Witness, I'm just going to avoid the conversation altogether because I don't, it became a little heated and it didn't need to be heated. I have my opinion, she has her opinion, and we can just leave it like that. I don't have to be rude, disgruntled, have a or be mad, constantly mad. I don't have to do that. But I know the reasons why I left. I know the side effects or the consequences that have occurred to me now that I'm no longer in the organization. I know that the relearning or the reteaching that I must go through probably from the rest of my life from being in the organization. The organization was good with the public talks, teaching persons how to speak publicly, how to read properly, and so forth. I That was a good sense, um, a token that I would take away. But the emotional scarring, it will live with me for the rest of my life, I believe. Until next time, you guys. Thanks for listening to me. Until next time, take care.